We appreciate all the gifts that you bestow upon us and our people. We thank you for the opportunity to serve, and we ask that the decisions we make will be divine and proper in your presence. In Jesus' name, amen.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Leo Smith.
Here.
Bill England. Keith Austin.
Here.
Marley Buzzard.
Here.
Joe Bird. Sean Crittenden.
Here.
Mike Dobbins.
Here.
Nathan Duncan.
Here.
Wanda Hatfield.
Honey.
Dick Lay.
Honey.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Mary Bakershaw. Bonnie. Janice Taylor. Victoria Vasquez.
Oh, here.
I'm sorry. David Watkins Dick.
Councilor Crittenden,
I'm more distracted.
Honey.
We have form.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from June the 10th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? First up, Management Resources, Mr. David Moore.
Good afternoon.
Hello, David.
Hope y'all are doing well. You have a report. If you got any questions, I'll try my best to answer them, or I'll get you the answer.
Anybody have any questions for David? Oh,
I have one.
yes, ma'am.
David, is there anything special that you're all doing about the traffic for the Cherokee holiday around our powwow grounds?
Security is the ones that are over that. Last year, we made some new roadways around and stuff, trying our best to alleviate some of it. And we got one way in and one way out over there, so. But security, I think last year went better. We did it good.
Yes, it did. It worked well.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other questions for David? Sean?
How you doing, Dave?
Good, how are you?
Thanks for helping me out on that deal the other day.
Yes, no problem. We love to be able to help.
Do we do any type of assistance with private driveways?
Keep it till next time.
Through housing, I think there's some. I'd have to check with them, but through us, no. It's always through housing.
Got time.
And
But you guys help housing?
we'll do some smaller things for housing, and then they'll pay us, reimburse us.
No, thank you.
Mike?
Yes, sir. I don't know if you're the person I need to talk to, but who, every year at cruise night in Jay,
So,
they use the clinic, they use the parking lot of the clinic. Who do I need to talk
the
to?
clinic director there, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is that right now? Do you know?
Can't tell you
All
right now. who
right.
it
I'll
is.
catch you.
Yeah.
Do we not have any boundaries, like gates or to keep people from doing that in our parking lots?
I can't tell you if, I know some of them have gates. I can't tell you if all the clinics do. I know Salisal did.
Maybe it's something we need to look at.
I'll get with health and we'll look into that.
That could be one of your special projects.
Until they get it good, I can just do it.
Okay. Any other questions for David?
Just real
Thank you,
quick.
sir. Oh,
Yeah, just to follow up. Now, Dave, just so I understand, like on a driveway, we've got men, we've got equipment, and if there's time to do it, are we reimbursing natural resources budget?
Yes, if,
That's what's getting reimbursed?
yeah.
So,
If it's a housing job, they'll reimburse us for our equipment, fuel, time. And then I think y'all have special money too that we do the same thing for.
right, and so if we wanted to lay something out there that set aside some of that money, you know, you'd be more than willing to do that,
As long as
right?
we can do it legally,
We're-
yes, sir.
we're
I
kinda-
Totally,
Kind of reimbursing ourselves, right? I mean, because
The-
the council
budget, yeah.
sets the budget.
yes, yep.
And if we need a road, it don't look like we'd need to get reimbursed by anybody if you've got the manpower and the equipment,
I know. but
right?
it-
So
yeah.
it takes money, and I know we do that, so thank you.
I just wish we didn't have to do it that way, but we do. And if it's a big job, then roads or housing would have to do it.
Thank you.
Did you say we could use our special money on that?
I think so. I'm not positive.
They won't
of
let me.
that.
Something.
Here you go.
I know we've done projects. Okay.
Todd's taking
So the housing accessibility funds that you each have, that's what we've been utilizing a lot of this for, especially related to some of the flooding and some of the storm damage that citizens are kind of caught in the middle. FEMA's rejected them, their insurance will not cover it. And so that's how we've been trying to mitigate some of those requests of doing housing accessibility funds. Counselor Smith, and you had one instance last month where you had an elder and they were trying to get a home visit up, and the medical provider said if they don't get the road fixed, they can't make it up to the house. We were actually able to do that using some of the housing accessibility
Did a
funds.
great job.
Yeah.
He said he had an interstate by his house.
So yeah, we're just trying to keep David legal by making sure we're not
Yeah.
misusing or misappropriating federal funds, that we're trying to use tribal dollars to associate that. And so that's why the reimbursement process works.
I'll pay how much we can come give him.
Any other questions for David? Harley?
David, I know I've asked you about pine trees, and I've asked for the last 10 years. I'm gonna ask every month, I guess, till we get a report on what we're gonna be doing on the thing. 'Cause I know, are you not doing it, or is there another
It'll
department?
be well, we're kind of working with Natural Resources, the Sarah Hills group. It will get done. We're waiting, I think, on we're waiting on the beetle study and stuff. Again, is that because what tribe was it?
It could have,
They denied us.
it wouldn't have been the Beagles, and it must have been a Section 106 survey, which would be a historic preservation
Yeah, but
survey.
they denied saying we're gonna have to do the full,
Yeah, no, probably was the BIA, that's what we thought would happen.
so it's gonna take time, and we gotta do environmental studies again.
Well, I've been asking for years, so maybe it'll get done.
I hope so.
The other thing is, I asked about it last. I'll forget what it was. Anyway, thanks for checking on it.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Did an excellent job. Real Estate Services, Ginger Brown Reeves.
Good afternoon. Hello. I have my monthly report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them.
Anyone have any questions? It's your lucky day. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Hey, wait a minute. Not that easy. Are we still doing probates for some of our people?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and then the funds, so you're expecting us to appropriate that? Because we did that years ago. You remember we first put 50,000 into that, and it didn't last very long. So the funds that we have in place is sufficient for you to do the probates?
Well, the new year's coming up shortly,
Okay.
and we may be running out shortly at the end of this fiscal year. But when I started over in real estate services in in 11, oh wow, in 11, we had not worked up like 2,000 probates. Now, when someone walks in, they fill out an application for a probate, my staff is ready to research that and send it on. So that's how far we've come.
Well, we appreciate what you do, Ginger.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? Thank you. Environmental Programs, Mr. Tom Elkins.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I think you have a copy of our report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, or try my best to, anyway.
Any questions for Tom?
Wow. You're good. Excellent. I beat Ginger this time.
Secretary of Natural Resources, Ms. Sarah Hill.
Sarah ready to place a wager on him mentioning his plumbing career, because that's usually pretty good money on that deal. You can give him a chance. Good afternoon. I'm pleased to be back before the committee. I have a relatively short report. I know you guys have got a long day of meetings today. On the poultry issue, the conservation district that you all helped or approved more than a year ago, I think, is ready to hire its first employee. That's been posted. The Conservation District, I think, will be a good opportunity to find some of those federal dollars we've been talking about that can go to assist some of these communities that have really been impacted by the poultry industry. So I think that's a positive step forward. That gives us a way to get a lot of federal dollars from the NRCS and EQIP, which are programs that fund best management practices, which help the environment and help the community. So I think that we're going on the right track on that. The larger issue, as we've discussed before, I think we're going to have to look at, there's going to have to be some legislative changes probably made to make a lot of forward progress on that. But we continue to talk to the Secretary of Agriculture about these issues. And also with other people that are interested in the issue, legislatures, community groups, whomever wants to talk about poultry, we're happy to talk poultry with them. On the EV side, we've we've ordered 2 of our transit buses. They're on the production line now, so we're happy to see those electric buses moving forward through that process. We have a meeting this week with EPA Region 6 staff to talk about the Illinois River and the water quality issues there. We had an EPC meeting, Environmental Protection Commission meeting this morning, and E.S. Smith was there, as he often is, and we talked a little bit about the challenges that we're facing on the river. As long as more people continue to move to our area, that's a good thing economically. It causes problems for the river when you talk about the amount of wastewater that's going into the river. And so it's just the volume of water and how we balance that is an issue that we have to continually manage, and hoping that we can have a good conversation with the EPA staff about that. Our office is working on our holiday plans, hosting the Children's Fishing Derby, which we do every year, which is always a good time. And then also this week, Pat Gwynn and I and Chad Harshaw are going to tour the new Quapaw processing facility. They've got a lot of capacity up there to process meat, and we have a lot of folks here that are interested in, who are smaller producers of red meat, and right now they have to send them to feedlots, and there's not a lot of local solutions for finishing out your cattle. And so this is something that the Quapaw have been interested in discussing with us. We also know that the Keep Seagull applications are likely to be, for grant dollars, are likely to be released shortly, sometime this summer, probably this month or next month. Those applications will be going out, so we wanted to take that opportunity to go up to Quapaw and tour their processing facility. So I'm looking forward to that this week as well. So that's the short version of what we've been up to in the last month.
Any questions?
Harley? Just a comment about the Quapaw facility. I hadn't looked at the processing plant, but I know they had built it because they had acquired buffalo and they have a cattle operation up there, and I think that was part of their strategy to do that, plus public processing.
Right.
It's a good deal. I'm anxious to see what the report is next month.
Yeah, I'd be happy to report back. I know it's, by all accounts, an enormous facility, and one that was well engineered and well crafted, maybe even beyond the capacity that they currently have access to, which may create some opportunities for other tribes there. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Janice?
I have a question. I don't know if you're the one to take this to or not, but you might know. I understand that the ability to process bison is very limited. The Quapaws can do that, correct?
I know they have processed bison at that facility previously.
Okay, well, have you ever heard that there's only, I think I've been told there's only like 2 facilities in the whole United States that process bison. Does that sound accurate to you?
This sounds like the kind of question I can answer with more authority at the next committee meeting after I
Alrighty.
talk to the folks at Quapaw. So I'll put that on my list of things to inquire about.
Thank you very much. That's all I have, Rex.
Keith?
Yes, sir. I became acquainted with an organization this week called the Intertribal Agricultural Council. Do we have involvement in that?
We have had involvement with them, and that's Carly Hotvet and her youth group, probably, that you saw. And so we worked with them last year when they came down on their tour. I will say that Natural Resources, which has historically not reported to the Secretary of Natural Resources, so our ag folks have probably had more interaction with that group than I have. Last time they came down, I know we had some folks that were knowledgeable about our buffalo from the Natural Resources side come and talk to the kids about Buffalo. So I think it's something that Cherokee Nation could definitely be more involved in. I think that they do good work, and I would be interested in doing that.
Well, we hosted them at RSU the other night, and it's a very impressive group of young people from multiple tribes that were spending a lot of time inside the Cherokee Nation, learning about agriculture history, agriculture future, and agricultural practices, and so forth and so on. And I just wondered if we had any actual involvement.
Yeah, we have had involvement with them, and I know that Carly has been asking all of the 5 tribes. She feels like that there are more opportunities for the tribes to continue to support that entity, and I told her I would be happy to have that conversation with her. I think they do good work, and getting ag involved in agriculture is something that's going to be increasingly critical for Oklahoma over the short range, because ag is very top heavy right now with people that are in that retirement age.
I have a comment, if everybody's through.
Go ahead.
Would it be possible to get Ed Fight to come and give a report on the status of the Illinois River?
If you'll ask him about the river, it's hard to get him to stop, sir. I feel
But we'll
confident.
give him 5 minutes, then we have the gavel.
You're going to need it.
Yeah.
No, we had a good
He's
conversation
probably
about.
about as knowledgeable as anybody, and he is a tribal member. But I think we could get a good pro and cons about what he's hearing and what the future plans are.
I might even suggest you might invite both Dr. Matlock, and I think he's currently the chair of the EPC, and then and Ed Fight. Both of them have had a long history of dealing with the issues. Dr. Matlock has been more on the Arkansas side, so he's more knowledgeable about the Arkansas side maybe. And Ed Fight, of course, knows pretty much everything there is to know about the Illinois River. So
Okay.
I think the two of them together might provide a pretty comprehensive report to the council.
Could we have you referee and make sure we don't go too far?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you give them some time limits, I feel like they would, even without time limits, you're going to be more interested in what they have to say than they have a lot of knowledge, a deep background, and anyone interested in the river is going to have an interesting time talking to those two gentlemen.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No old business, no new business. I need one more motion. Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Aye, aye.